Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Neva, this is Reading with Neva, and today's video is different than anything I've ever done on this channel before, but these are my 2024 Goodreads romance predictions. So my friend Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots and I decided that we're going to kind of maybe do a little collab for the 2024 Goodreads Romance Awards this year. And we both read a fair bit of romance, and I dabble a little bit more into the darker side of romance than Aoife does, but I do read quite a bit of contemporary romance as well. So I'm just going to go through the predictions that I have. These are in literally no particular order. They are just books that I think could be on the predictions list for, or could be on the list for voting. I am not good at like predicting like who might win. I have an idea of who could win, but we're gonna just go through the ones that I have predicted. And yeah, I do own a few of the books that I have predicted to be on the 2024 romance category. So if I own them, I will hold them up, but I don't own all of them. And one of them I hope to own. I just haven't bought it yet because it's still in hardcover and I would prefer it in paperback. So like I said, these are in no particular order. These are just my predictions for nominees for 2024 in romance. So the first one that I have is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I have read this book. So this is a romance, and it's the concept of it to me was different than anything I'd ever read before. This is an ex-fiance's new fiance's ex-boyfriend romance. So our main female character ends up moving in with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex-boyfriend in like a roommate situation after she gets kicked out of their house after her ex-fiance breaks up with her, and shenanigans and love ensue. I absolutely loved this book. So that is the first one I have. The next one I have is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I believe this is a single dad romance. I think this entire series is single dad romance. I've seen this one everywhere. I have not picked it up, and this is why. I thought that Wild Love was another cowboy romance, and I'm not really a fan of that, but I've been told that this whole series is single dads, so that's my next one. The next one I have is Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I've seen this one around. I believe this is a golfing romance, so a sports romance. That's really all I know about that one. The next one I have is Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the Lakefront Billionaires series, and the first one was called Love Redesigned, and I think it may have been a nominee last year, but this year is Love Unwritten. This is a single dad nanny romance, and our nanny is a singer-songwriter, and our single dad, who we're introduced to in Love Redesigned, he's just grumpy, and I absolutely love it. It's a chunk, but I loved this book so much. The next one that I have is Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the third book in the Maple Hills series. So we've had Icebreaker, we've had Wildfire, and then we got Daydream. And this, follows Hallie and Henry. We met Henry in Icebreaker and everyone fell in love with him. He is neurospicy. We don't necessarily know what his neurodivergence is, but we know that his character is coded that way, but he's not had an official diagnosis. And then Hallie is our resident bookworm. This book has my whole heart. I'm gonna be real. So the next one I have is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I've not read this book, but I believe this book comes after Part of Your World, which I did read this year, and I absolutely loved it. So that is my next pick. I've seen it everywhere. The next one I have is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I actually have two Ali Hazelwoods on here because I wasn't sure. Actually, I have three Ali Hazelwoods on here because I wasn't really sure which one might make it. Two of them I think will for sure, but I'm not sure. So Check and Mate, this is a chess romance, and I believe it's YA. So I don't know. I put it in the romance category because I could not remember if Checkmate was YA or not. I feel like if it is YA, it will make it into the YA category, which I'm not reading for that, but I couldn't remember if this one was YA. So you can yell at me down below, it's fine. But I put it in here because I was like, I think it's YA, but it could be adult. I couldn't remember, but I did put that in here. And now, as I'm filming this, I think it might be YA, but that's fine. The next one I have is Dungeons and Drama, which I realize also now that I put this in here and it's not adult, it's YA. But we're just gonna go with it, okay? This is a YA romance about Dungeons and Dragons. I love how I'm filming this and then rethinking everything in life. So moving on. The next one I have is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. I think it's Poston. Ashley Poston. I have read this book. I gave it 4 stars. This is kind of like a magical realism story about a woman who goes on a book retreat by herself. She usually goes with her friends, and she stumbles into her favorite small town romance series town. So she ends up like in the town. It gives me like Gilmore Girls vibes, honestly. I really loved this book, so I think this could be on the nominees. The next one I have is Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I just feel like there's always a Christina Lauren book as a nominee, and this is the most recent one, and I really need to read it, but it probably won't happen until next year at this point, unless it's on the nominees. The next one I have is Leather and Lark. This is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy by Bren Weaver. I have read Butcher and Blackbird, and then this is Leather and Lark, which is the second one, and this one is following Lark, who is Blackbird, the chick that is Blackbird in the first one. That's her best friend, and Lachlan, who is Leather, who is the brother of the Butcher in Butcher and Blackbird. So that's what we're doing. This series follows 3 brothers and their love interests. So I've not read this yet because the audiobook was not where it was for me. Like, it wasn't the vibe. So I will be reading this at some point, but Leather and Lark is the next one. Yay. The next one that I have is Bride. So this is by Ali Hazelwood, and I was kind of torn between whether this would be in the romance category or the romantasy category. I think it could be in either one, so I just went ahead and put it in here just in case. So Bride, I've read this. I didn't really enjoy it, but this is like a vampire werewolf love story. That's all I really have to say about that. The next one I have is also Ali Hazelwood, which is Not in Love. Again, I could not decide which Ali Hazelwood I thought would be in the romance category. I just could not decide. I don't know anything about this book. I haven't read it. The next one I have is The Rom-Commers. I've seen this one everywhere. This is by Catherine Center. As far as I know, Catherine Center writes closed door romance. Some people, I guess, would call it like clean romance. I don't like saying that because it implies that explicit romance is dirty, and we don't do that here. So The Rom-Commers, I believe, is a closed-door romance by Catherine Center. I've not read that. The next one I have is This Could Be Us. This is the book, this is the second book in a series. I can't remember off the top of my head what the first one is, but it's by Kennedy Ryan. I've read the first one. I just can't remember what it was called. And yeah, so I think this one could be on there. The next one I have is King of Sloth, which is book 4 in a series by Anna Huang. And this is like her series that's based around like the 7 Deadly Sins. And I've read none of these books, but I feel like it could be on there because I've literally seen King of Sloth being sold everywhere, including Walmart and even like smaller book sections at like my grocery stores. So I feel like it could be there. The next one I have is This Summer Will Be Different. I believe this one is by Carly Fortune. I've never read anything by her, but I've seen this one circulating as well. And then the last one that I have on this list, I feel like is a long shot, but I believe Pucking around made it last year. So fucking sweet. We love Emily Rath. First of all, Emily Rath is queen. Second of all, I love this entire series. This one I have read. I gave it 5 stars. The lowest rating of the full-length novels out of any of them, and I think that if this one makes it as a nomination, I will reread this, but I will reread it physically, like with my eyes, instead of the audio. I think that the audio really didn't do me justice, you know? So those are all of my nominations for the 2024 Goodreads Choice Awards in the romance category. Let me know below if you had any of the same ones. Yeah, it'll be so exciting to see which ones are in fact I was right about and which ones I wasn't. But let me know down below if you have any other predictions for 2024 Goodreads Choice, and if you have nothing to say, leave me a trophy emoji down below, since these are the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.